Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch a beautiful morning. It's supposed to be fairly warm today, like in the mid to upper 60s. After a couple of chilly nights, not too bad. They are spraying the clouds, the skies though today, so weather could change, I guess. I noticed that this morning, first thing I got up, first light. You could see them up there spraying away. Another video to upset a portion of the people that watch this channel, and I'm not trying to just tick everyone off. I'm trying to get people to open their eyes. I'm trying to get people to see that the compromise and the putting their faith in someone is going to lead them down a path of destruction, or down a path of failure at least. Doesn't mean that just because I criticize one person or one movement that it's as bad as the other evil movement. But yeah, you need to open your eyes. And I know that most of you have your eyes open to what's going on. Over the weekend, some more pics were made. There's something rattling. Oh, the spanner tool. Some of you know what that is. There were some more picks announced for top level positions and cabinet level, you know, the stuff with the federal government, White House stuff. They weren't real good. Definitely some disappointments for a lot of people, and then the rest of us weren't too surprised. 2 doctors were appointed that are both pro pokey poke, pro mask. One was a Fox News analyst appointed to Surgeon General, very vocal throughout the whole pandemic about social distancing and wearing all your gown and mask and all that kind of stuff, and getting tested and getting your poke and everything. A new person was announced to be the Attorney General, an attorney out of Florida, and she's not pro-gun, not at all. She was big for red flag gun laws, confiscations, things like that. Definitely not, and it's not just my opinion. There's several gun organizations that's come out and criticized that this is not at all what we voted for. Like, this person is not pro-gun. And then remember a few days back when I said that the Trump camp had hired BlackRock CEO Larry Fink to as a consultant to try to figure out who should be the pick for Treasury. Well, they announced the pick for Treasury. This guy worked for George Soros, was part of his little club thing. He's married to a man, and yeah, the Wall Street, in fact, one of the Financial Times came out with an article yesterday, said that Wall Street is breathing a sigh of relief with this pick. That this was not someone that's going to rock the boat. This is someone that's one of their guys that's going to be the Treasury Secretary. So the point is that excuse me, the swamp is just changing characters. That's all. And much like the last time, is for those of you that just absolutely hate me, and that's fine. You have to, if you were fair, at least you would admit that the last time Trump was in office, he was horrible about picking swamp people. He talked about draining the swamp, and he just kind of added to it by the people that he picked a lot of times. A few good ones, but a lot of them were just part of the system. And that's what it's looking like now. And the point that I'm trying to get to is not to get on here and bash Donald Trump or anything like that, because he's just a man. He's just a man, and it doesn't matter if he has good intentions or if he's part of the club. He's just a man, and that is the point. We have to stop putting our faith into this guy. or to any guy. And for those of you that felt like that once election night was over, that you could kind of go back to sleep and everything would be okay, kind of like, you've been told for years, just trust the plan. Don't buy into that. That's part of the psyop, this trust the plan. That's the psyop, or at least part of it. You should trust yourself and trust the Father in heaven, and that's about it. And you should focus on continually preparing yourself, because I think with everything that's going on, it's not going to get any better anytime too soon. Things may change gears, but the end goals are still going to be the same. It's like when for those of you that's done this, you understand what I'm saying, but you start a new business. You've got this dream that you're going to have this business doing whatever, right? And you have this vision of how you want the end goal for that business, and you start it off and you go down this path to try to meet that end goal, that vision. And after the first year or so, you realize, well, I probably need to change things up, do things a little different. Maybe I need to do it this way or that way, or kind of change focus. You're not changing your vision, you're just figuring out a different path to get there. And honestly, that's what we're seeing. It's the end goal, the end vision for global domination and the beast system and all of that isn't really changed. We're just now in a different path to get there. And we have to realize that. We have to realize that we have to keep our preparations up. We have to keep getting our hearts in order, keep getting our minds in order, because there's going to be times, I suspect, maybe even more so than before. A lot of people, and I've taken an immense amount of criticism over the last couple of weeks. Well, would you just rather have had Kamala Harris in office? No, not necessarily, but I will say this. At least you knew exactly what you were getting. It was out there on the surface, and that's part of the psyop. Make something so dark, so evil, so bad that you'll just naturally, bounce to this other thing that looks a lot better. And while, of course, Kamala Harris would have been 10 times, 100 times worse, at least you knew what you were getting with her, right? There wasn't this illusion that Kamala Harris was pro-freedom and patriotic and all about just these libertarian values. You knew what you were getting. And so we have to be continually ready, because the level of psyops, I think, are going to get worse. I think the level of distortion and confusion is going to get worse. The deception is going to get worse. That's biblical, folks. For those of you that think that I'm just the most horrible person in the world, maybe you should actually open your Bibles and read it, because it tells a whole different story. It doesn't talk about us winning in the end and becoming all free, and government is just, very laissez-faire or anything like that. It talks about how government's just going to get worse and worse and more controlling and more part of the beast system. Global religion, global currency, a government that is some type of beast system that is able to monitor and see and know everything. And that's exactly where we're headed. Exactly where we're headed. You got Elon Musk, who seems to just be at Donald Trump's side everywhere he goes. And for some strange reason, he's now in a pretty prominent position of negotiating peace deals with foreign people. I mean, he's still just a civilian. I mean, yeah, he's the richest one, or one of them, but he seems to be very, very embedded in this all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, just in the last few weeks. And this is the guy that, wears clothing that says New World Order on it, and has clothing that has Batmouth on it, and that is pushing brain chips. Just this morning I saw a post. He was, bragging about brain chips implanted, and AI, and space travel, and AI robots that will be in everybody's home. I mean, this whole Skynet system that, you know, with satellites everywhere. This is the guy that's a top advisor that's deeply embedded in this new government. Wake up, people. Yeah, there may be some really good things that come along because of all of this transition, but I suspect there's going to be some bad things too. And we have to keep getting ourselves prepared. Don't just go roll over and go back to sleep and think that everything's okay, because everything isn't okay. Things have changed, but not necessarily for the better. Get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.